Well, a good evening to you all and a very Merry Christmas. If you can see behind me as Mr. Gorham, Mr. Phil Daly leaving after a busy night's work. There we are, and we're all off, heading off home. Have a very Merry Christmas, won't you? And you will now, of course, because Norwich City have beaten Blackburn Rovers here at Ewood Park by 1-0. Of course, they did it in the 86th minute. Why would you bother scoring any earlier? Of course, it was Teemu Pukki. Why would anyone else score for Norwich City? He is the master of securing 1-0 wins for the Canaries. He has been ever since he joined, and it's an excellent place to be in, especially when you're given that you look at Teemu sometimes and watch his first 80 minutes and think, yeah, but you can't take him off because you always feel that he's got a game-defining moment in him, and once again he delivered it. A phenomenal 14th victory of the season for Norwich City. They're now on 47 points after 23 games, which is of course the halfway point. When you look at the table, this is as fair a reflection as it will be between now and the final table. Says a lot. The Norwich are currently top, and of course Leeds go to Villa Park tomorrow, which will be a very tough game, one that Leeds can certainly win, but it's not really the main point, is it? The fact is Norwich have done the business themselves and put themselves in an excellent position heading into the post-Christmas fixtures, where of course Norwich got a really big double-header at home at Carrow Road, both I believe very, very close to being sellouts. That is Nottingham Forest on Boxing Day and Derby, Frank Lampard's Derby, and nonetheless on the following Saturday. So two crucial games, and to a degree winning this one just eases a little bit some of the pressure that would maybe come on those two games, given where Norwich are in the table, what they're trying to achieve. Clearly, the fact is, you can pick up points away from home, but you're doing that on the proviso you then win your home games, and they are two pretty tough games coming up. Anyway, this game was horrible. I hated this game of football. It wasn't particularly enjoyable. Norwich started off quite well and controlled the play, but once Blackburn kind of sussed that they felt they could get at Norwich, they did that, and they did that with some fairly robust tackle. I mean, nothing ridiculous, but there were some strong tackles went in. Emi Buendia was pulled off after 21 minutes because he had a dead leg, so he's going to be a doubt for the rest of the festive fixtures. Moritz Leitner had a few tough tackles, although I'm not sure. I think it was more the overstretched, which was the thing that kind of injured his ankle, or certainly added to it, and that ended his return at half time, which is a shame because we were seeing the good stuff of Mo, constantly on the ball, keeping Norwich ticking over, and the element of control they had in midfield, which they didn't have in the first half of the second half once Leitner had gone off. So that was a shame. Just generally Blackburn, muscling, and it was a grotty game of football because Blackburn had to make it like that, because in the first 15-20 minutes Norwich were running the show and Rovers weren't really getting a kick, so you could understand that, and that is exactly why Blackburn have been so tough to beat here over the last year to 18 months. They've made the point of how and they said it actually over the PA, 2018 has been a brilliant time for this football club. They've really enjoyed it, and they will be they'll be very disappointed with how this has ended up, and they had good moments, good opportunities to maybe have got themselves ahead today, but Norwich defended their 6-yard box pretty well, I have to say, and although Blackburn got in good positions and situations, Blackburn's own final ball let them down, and Norwich defended that area really well, which says a lot for Ben Godfrey. It's just maybe I kind of thought that this time, with Grant and Hanley waiting to come back, Tim Closer is obviously in the sidelines and he'll be back soon as well. I could see that Godfrey might not have played today, but likewise, the way Daniel Farke works, he was always going to play Ben Godfrey today, I think, because that's what he does. He plays youth. He plays young players because he has faith in them. They're as good as anything else. He won't just ditch them for experience reasons, whichever. Saying that he'll probably bring Grant and Hanley back in for the home games now. But Grant and Christoph were very good today, really secure. And Norwich have not conceded a goal because of a mistake from Ben Godfrey since he came in. And that's phenomenal because the guy hasn't played centre-back at this level and at any level, really, because last season at Shrewsbury he was a holding midfielder. It's I just have to put the praise on Ben Godfrey. It's brilliant. And well done, Daniel Farke, again, for just investing this faith in these younger players, to the point where Todd started today, Todd Cantwell, Max Aarons, Jamal Lewis, they all started today. They were all part of the furniture and they all did really well. The two best chances for Norwich, both falling to Teemu Pukki, both came from Todd Cantwell making the moments. And it's happening with Ben. Quite how that will last, I don't know, but fair play. Rovers, I think, I was disappointed, if I'm honest. I think maybe they didn't play a game that they're used to because they felt they had to really dig in and bully Norwich, really, or try to. So we didn't see the best of them. Bradley Dack sort of, there was show pony elements, if I'm honest. He's clearly a very talented footballer, but didn't really affect the game a lot. And clearly it was, get it up to Danny Graham or get it in behind the two fullbacks as often as you could, really. And for a side who have been reasonably successful, drawn a lot of games, but done okay on their championship return, it was a bit like the worst bits of the championship that you just don't enjoy. And I was not enjoying this game. That's probably the elements for me as to why this is such a satisfying win. As satisfying as anything Norwich have pulled off this season. They were really tested today, really tested. It was a proper bullying performance, and just again, this Norwich City side have raised to the challenge. They've won the game, and he probably would have taken a point, probably. And that is what is delivering. It's delivered a remarkable first half of the season. What happens next? We can only really hope for. But if Norwich continue in this vein of passing the challenges set for them, whatever those challenges are, they will lose the odd game, but in general they are succeeding, then this season will be a successful season. They're in a phenomenal position heading into Christmas, and you know what? At this point, I don't think there's much more to say. Just enjoy it, because it's phenomenal. Have a look at the table. Doesn't even matter if Leeds win tomorrow. Doesn't matter. Norwich and Leeds breaking away is fine. Clearly West Brom look like they're motoring a little bit now, so that's going to be a very interesting game come January. We'll really look forward to that, and we've got some really, really good games coming up. Yeah, enjoyable stuff. We got to speak to Alex Tettey. Brilliant, of course, his 200th appearance in a Norwich shirt. Typical Alex Tettey. It was a bit like, well, great, that's good. But just to list some of the players I think that he's very close to in terms of performance levels, they're proper Norwich legends. So fair play Alex Tettey, and what a season he could be partaking in. Some interesting stuff on the fact he's been able to play so many games as well, so I'm sure they'll be in the papers and online at PinkUn.com over the coming days. And I say what we do now really is keep our fingers crossed for Emi Buendia and Moritz Leitner. Both have got knocks. As Daniel said, they could be minor knocks that only put them out for 2 weeks, but at this time of year 2 weeks is 4 games, so not so worried of course about the FA Cup game, but Derby, Forest, Boxing Day, Derby and Brentford away are the 3, and hopefully Moritz and Emi can both play a part in those 2, because you really wouldn't want to be without them for all 3 games, especially with the next 2 being particularly tough affairs. All the reaction and analysis, PinkUn.com, keep an eye on that, the PinkUn app of course as well, and I'm going to leave you with a very, very happy message of Christmas. Enjoy yourselves, have a great time, and we will of course see you on Boxing Day.